where should I build a website, and kind of what kind of platform is best for a particular company, small business, or like a side hustle type of deal?
Sure. It's a great question. Obviously, there's a lot of different places you can go currently to even build your own website. I mean, if you're halfway computer savvy, there's places you can go, and they have builders that make it really easy. You can drag and drop stuff in, and it makes it pretty easy. The thing you have to think about is what the limitations of some of those programs are. Some of them are very limited to how much SEO you can really do with regard to your website, what you can do. We typically, with our company, we either build a website with WordPress if somebody is looking for an informational type site to promote their business, their services, whatever. And we typically build a Shopify website if they're looking to have a website that they can sell things on, like an e-commerce type site. So those are the two website formats we tend to work with. However, there's a lot of different things out there, like Squarespace and Wix, and a lot of different places where you can build a website. The one thing I would say that you're really going to want to look at is you're going to want to look at what the availability is for you to really customize it. Is it going to be pretty locked in, or is it going to be pretty generic looking? And also, can you put in a lot of different SEO? We've talked on this show in a lot of different places about all the different things you can do on a website to really give it positive SEO. Some of those platforms limit you to what you can actually do. It's a great thing if you just want to have something out there that somebody can visit and look okay. You can utilize some of those other platforms, but you just have to ask yourself what you're really trying to accomplish and what your budget is, to be honest. You had mentioned, if it's a side hustle or things like that. I mean, if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a budget, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, put it together, hustle it out, create something. And there are platforms you can do that. You just might be limited in the future as to what you can do with that platform. I mean, think about it this way. Anytime anything is free, you typically are paying a cost in one way, shape, or form for that. With Wix and some of the others, the negative is if you build a website there, it's really not transportable. I mean, it only can really operate on Wix, where if you build a WordPress website, you can move that from, you managing it to a professional company managing it, things like that. If you go with one of the programs like Wix or something like that, you're limited to what they can do. The other thing to keep in mind, there are some marketing companies that offer to build a website for you for a monthly fee. That can be a cheap way to get into having a website. The only problem there is that you don't actually own that website. If at any point in time you decide to not pay that monthly fee any longer, you don't own the website. So you've literally built a house on somebody else's real estate. And if you ever leave, you basically lose all that. So even if you've owned it, even if you've been paying them monthly payments for 3, 4, 5 years, it doesn't matter. The minute you stop paying them monthly payments, you don't have a website anymore. And you may have paid thousands and thousands of dollars into monthly payments and not even own your website. So, man, that was a long-winded way of answering your question, but there you go.
I was going to say, too, and that also, it's understanding. I think understanding the website as a whole, like understanding a hosting fee is a monthly fee, but that's not actually like I'm going to build your website and charge you monthly for a specific, like for this website. So you might be paying a lower amount, but then they're charging you hundreds of dollars a month to actually run your website. So that could be something different. So
hosting is, you can't get away from that. Hosting is, if you're going to have a website that's live, whether Wix is packing it into their monthly fees or whatever, you are going to pay a hosting fee no matter what. If you're going to have a website online, you're going to have a hosting fee involved.
No, absolutely. To answer this question, I use Squarespace for a couple people, and then obviously working with iMagnet and understanding and getting a better immersion into the WordPress. I personally like that just because of the customizations, like you said, the ease of doing the SEO and kind of all. You can find it on other ones. It just might be a little trickier. And obviously there are cheap sites. I think we talked about earlier today in our meeting about like running a thin website. So even if you need to have some sort of a site up, it's going to benefit you to have a 2 or 3 pager versus trying to put like everything you really want to put out on a website. So it's trying to understand what, like you said, what works best for you for your budget or for what you actually want to try to do. If it's something that we do Shopify accounts and stuff like that. So it depends on if you were trying to sell something or just kind of have a service.